Alrighty, Squatter's Ramblings back at you again with Beyond Shadowgate. Yep, another TurboGrafx CD game, of course. Lack of diversity much, huh? Oh well, I don't give a shit. Alrighty, so yeah, this is Beyond Shadowgate. It's a quirky game, really interesting, I'd say. I'd say that I liked it, honestly. It was a fun little playthrough, confusing at certain parts, definitely. But, no, I would say I like certain games like this. They have a sort of action platformer aspect to them as well as a point-and-click interface. Uh, I like the art style. I like how the backgrounds are all hand-painted and hand-drawn, like that one right there. Very entertaining, yeah. So, reading walkthroughs, I found several ways to die that I didn't see in some YouTube playthroughs. They usually have all those relegated to the end as bonuses. But yeah, no, uh, I've played this game before, many, many years ago, and I had fleeting memories of it. A lot of the stuff, especially in the early part of the game, was really familiar to me from my last playthrough. That's, of course, going back to like maybe 2012. But no, the thing with games like these is that, and I've said it before, definitely, is that they are very, very linear. And I know I've always said that linear games are some of my favorites, right? You know, there's not a whole lot of branching paths. You don't lose sight of your main quest and everything. Sorry, I'm adjusting my microphone. But the problem with this here is that, and again, like it doesn't really have the excuse of not of being one of the first games of its genre, right? I mean, this is late 1993, early 1994 when this was released, so it's should honestly be one of the most advanced, right? But I found the interface honestly to be very, very clunky. Um, Especially the menu system, honestly, like just what I did there, getting things, you would have to press, I think you would have to press start, and then you'd have to switch the little icon to your hand to be able to grab things. You couldn't just select things out of the menu and use them. You needed to be in the correct context sensitive mode. You need to have the correct icon to select it with and everything. Um, but of course, one thing I did like was that you could kind of click around and get descriptions of everything, and they were well written, humorously, cheekily, I would say. Um, but again, it's like I gotta tell you, I don't know several parts of this game. I don't know how you would beat it without a walkthrough or a video playthrough. Like, who would use a bucket to plug a hole? Like, you'd fill something up with a bucket, like just what I did there. And this is a problem right here. Like, this part of the game, this fucked me up. This part of the game fucked me up. Like, I was reading a walkthrough and they said, okay, you can either give this guy the paddle ball or you can give him like a diamond or a sapphire to eat or something. I'm just like, what the fuck? That's weird. So then they said, well, you can't, if you give him the paddle ball, you won't get the ending. But if you give him the rock, you'll have fewer gold. So I'm just like, okay, whatever, fine, that's no problem. But the thing was, is that later on, realizing that I had pretty much screwed myself by not having those 2 extra gold pieces that I could have sold to the diamond merchant, uh, I realized that I could not progress through the game as fast as the walkthrough wanted me to, right? Because I wanted to see what the ending was if I had the paddle ball. So, and I was just thinking, like you need to, the walkthrough I was reading, it's by McClure somebody or other on GameFAQs and everything, and it was useful and everything. I would much rather follow a walkthrough and everything rather than a YouTube playthrough, which, you know what, to be honest, sometimes I actually have done that, especially for more difficult like puzzle parts of games. I just watch a video and then I just play back. I just play what I see on the video back on the game console, or the PC or whatever I'm playing on, right? Um, and to be honest, sometimes that's the only way for me, right? This place was a bitch. God, I died so many times. This fucking alien guy with his little bagpipe crossbow, whatever the hell it is. Like, I mean, look at that shit, man. Like, I've sped this up 10 times, right? I watch the video while I talk about it just to give me ideas and keep it fresh. But it's like, my God, like, as I said, the interface is, I liked the interface as it has platforming elements as well as point and click elements. However, I am absolutely not a fan of. They try to. They expect too much of the game engine, of the control scheme, if you ask me, in games like this, right? Because where it takes breakneck reflexes and concentration, like here, right? Again, I get burned alive, right? Or I get an arrow through my face or something, right? It's like all you can do is just trot around at a snail's pace, right? And like all you can do is duck and then punch, which is only a few inches away from your body, right? See, it's like look at that. I have to go bop up, bop up, bop up, bop up. I have to go up and down and up and down and up and down. That's retarded, right? Goofy things like that I liked about it, right? But no, again, like it seems that in situations like that, like with those aliens with their weapons, the game should kind of carry you through them, right? Like if you had the proper item, or maybe it'd give you a dialogue box and give you several options or something, right? And you'd select the proper one, then your guy would basically he would go into a played out in-game engine cutscene that basically it plays out before your eyes, and just basically it accomplishes the task for you, right? Uh, that's something that I certainly would have appreciated in certain points of the game like this. And honestly, this Prince Eric guy, this is the guy, right? You play as Prince Eric. I'm talking more about different things than about the game, right? Well, I guess this is why it's a ramble. But so you're playing a Prince Eric, and he's the son of the king who's been murdered by Belazar, the king's recently appointed advisor, who turns out to be a snake. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh well, who gives a fuck, right? Yeah. Spoiler. But no, yeah. So he's a snake man, and he fucks you over. Yeah. So and he throws you in jail, and then you meet your sister Elizabeth, I believe her name is, and you go on your little quest to save the kingdom and restore your rightful position to the throne. So then there you go. Yeah, I mean, it's like, again, with this Prince Eric guy, like, he can be killed so easily, but then again, he's the toughest motherfucker in the world. Like, honestly, he puts fucking Chuck Norris to shame. Seriously, he can, like, there's a rhinoceros guy swinging a morning star at him, and he's like 3 times his size, and he just punches him twice, and then that's it. While this lady over here could slice your head off in a heartbeat, right? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's just it's extremes, right? And I would say that the voice acting in this game is above, well, depending on how you want to consider the meaning of subpar, because to be honest, in golf terms, which is where it comes from, subpar is actually good. But I would say the voice acting is satisfactory. I that guy back there who kind of goes "Hajavada, Hajavada." I would always annoy the guys at work just by saying that and random words interspersed between it. And yeah, that little pack rat thing, yeah, that has no significance, right? No significance. And a lot of these people really don't have any significance. And right here, I believe, is the time that I turn off the music, uh, and just because I get so sick and tired of it, right? I hear the same music over and over and over again, right? Uh, I just get so sick and tired of it, right? It drones on and on and on, and there's no way that you can lower the music the volume of the music specifically in relation to, say, the voiceovers or the ambient noises, right? So I just said, you know what? Like, I'm just sick and tired of this. Like, sometimes the music is very, very good. It's very, as I said, it's very, very ambient and everything. It's very atmospheric, but no, honestly, it's it just doesn't work a lot of the time, right? Yeah, it's got, as I said, it's got its funny moments, right? But I mean, again, it's like there's it doesn't necessarily, everything has a structure, but there's no structure to it, right? Like, to me, it just doesn't make any sense, right? Like, what would you do with a ball of yarn? You're being attacked by a cougar. what would a ball of yarn do? Does it play with it like a cat or something? I think I remember seeing that in a video or something. But it's like, what does... Oh, the mouse. That's right. Like you get attacked by like an elephant man later on in the game, and then you just throw a mouse at him. Well, I thought I could punch him. I'm basically the toughest guy in the whole damn planet, right? And yeah, I start going around and seeing how many death sequences I can find. Yeah, and it's like, did it? And then she bores you to death. Wah ha ha ha. Right? Yeah, I paid a price for that. I had to do a few events in the game over again because to be honest, the walkthrough I was reading said, do this for something fun. Go back and save the granny and look at her photo album. Do that for something fun. And I said, well, that was funny to watch, but not funny to have to deal with afterwards. But what can you do, right? And yeah, these are your basically fetch and trade quests that I'm doing right now. Of course, everything in this game is linear. Everything is necessary except for, yeah, you can also punch the little cougar until it dies because you're the master of warriors and stuff like that. Um, which I mean, again, it's like there are alternatives which I'm appreciative of because you end up saving money, especially the money that I would have that I didn't have because I gave that damn troll the diamond that I should have sold. Oh, and that dinosaur has nothing to do with anything over there, so that's basically useless. See, here's the fucking rhino guy, right? He fucking kicks his ass right then and there. Jesus Christ, you're like some kind of fucking Superman. You should play the fucking Christopher Reeve Superman theme wherever this guy is. And look at this guy here. He's just, ouch, huge, ouch, huge. Hearing that when I came into that screen, I was just like, okay, what's the rating on this game? What am I going to see? Because holy shit. Like, this is going to be fucking something else if you ask me. And, again, you would need to have a walkthrough, right? Or at least just, like, exhaust every single possibility with this. Because why would you get, like, an orb of energy from an engine or something? Like, it's fueled by coal. It has the energy already. It has coal. That's where the energy comes from. It doesn't need the part of the fabled Staff of Ages, which, to be honest, isn't even really necessary to finish the game, because you can finish it with the special sword, or you can finish it with the paddle ball, which is one of the funnier endings, which of course we'll get to as we progress through this video. But yeah, I mean, weird things like this, like you're progressing through this city and everything, and you'd think everything would be linear because the game is, but sometimes you would exit out the screen through the right or through the left, and you would usually come out. Yeah, see, like right there, you exit through the right and you come out through the left. Like, how does that work, right? So, and you go to this weird guy and you sell, like, I guess he doesn't take the topaz or whatever I had. He only wants gems, even though the other gem that I had he doesn't even react to, which is kind of stupid. Maybe like they could have said maybe just 1 gold for it or something. And yeah, you get the blacksmith's tools, and the blacksmith's tools like give you, after you work on the engine in that dwarven mining camp, you get one of the parts of this. Yeah, then you go boom. Oh shit. So you yeah, it's like you punch the cougar out and everything, but it's like, how was I supposed to know that I would need to use the blacksmith tools on a coal-fired engine? I'm sure they use coal, like they stoke coal to it, but I wouldn't necessarily think of using tools to get a part of the fabled Staff of Ages. I don't understand that, right? And so yeah, you get a hammer from this Viking guy that you give the comb to get the burrs out of his beard. Sorry, and yeah, this is a game that does not take itself very seriously, honestly, and it is self-aware in a lot of the places that it needs to be, but uh, it could be more self-aware in different places, right? Yeah, see, this was another pain in the ass, right? Yeah, he just keeps dying because this damn clown thing. Like I don't even know. Like it just like everything just happens, right? Like this guy's supposed to be a friend of that trader that you got the comb and the ball of yarn from. Ball of yarn from. Uh, but it's like, I mean, just everything just happens, right? It's like you can interact with a whole bunch of different people, but they really don't have a whole lot to say to you, honestly. Um, like I just don't know what to. A lot of the time I was just saying, you know what, like I was stressed out by this game and parts of this game that I said, God damn, I love this game. It's entertaining, right? But you know, it's a fun game, I would say, if you can get past its flaws, which I think shouldn't be in there. Like even considering the fact that you need to use a Turbo Duo controller with it, right? Um, it just needs to be a little more streamlined, right? Which of course is not going to happen because it's what is it? What 25 years after the fact it was released? Yeah, and this was one of the points that really fucked me up in the game because I realized that I needed to buy a minimum of two of these guys, these little pets, the dog and the parakeet, was it? I think so. Yeah, that was a funny one there. Fucking electrifies my face and blasts it against the screen. But yeah, and another one I was just like, well, what the hell am I supposed to do? Okay, I thought maybe using the metal glove, the sheath on the sword itself, but no, you need to use it on yourself, right? So and again, it's like, yeah, you need to know what to do to beat this game because like I'd have to. This isn't a very popular game, so I don't think anybody really lost any sleep over it. But I just think it's like again, oh yeah, yeah, that's right. You know, things that you think would kill you outright, like them driving their spines right through your chest, would kill you. But it doesn't. Like you can just punch them. Like you can just literally punch them to death. Those snails, and this weird skeleton thing that shoots darts at you in hell. And yeah, again, it's like okay, and now you have the Staff of Ages out of a shaft, a piece of metal, and an orb, right? So I don't know, man. That just doesn't really. It a lot of the time it just doesn't really make any sense, honestly. But if you can kind of get past that sort of thing of it, it's a goofy thing. It's a very goofy game, honestly. It does not take itself, as I said, very seriously at all. It is entertaining in several ways with those aspects taken into consideration, but it can be very taxing because, again, there are several points in the game where you would need to do something like this or something like that. You'd need to have enough gold, and there's a very finite portions of gold to go throughout the game. And I was worried that I would find myself with an unbeatable save file, right? Which is why such a short game such as this one, which would literally take maybe an hour and a half to beat, uh, took me, well, fuck, probably over a month to beat, honestly. Of course, I got other shit going on in my life, and look at this shit, right? I mean, it's like, of course, I've got like infinite health cheat. I need it to fucking beat this game, honestly, with my skill level. But and again, I'm watching this at 10x speed, right? So you're seeing dropped frames and paused screens and everything. But okay, so this part of the game, right? You have to throw a seashell into water. Okay, I understand that. And I think coal is for fire, right? And then like a okay, so that's what the topaz was for. Okay. Yeah. Alrighty. Okay, and then what were those three scrolls for? I don't think I ever read them. That's really weird. Huh. Okay. Yeah, it might have been interesting. Uh, weird. Okay, so yeah, you're basically right at the end of the game there, and you got rid of that elephant man, as I said. Uh, And at this point, I had saved my file, and I wanted to show all the different ways that you could beat the game or lose the game, right? Of course, yeah, there you go. And there you are. Of course, I didn't show this cutscene 3 or 4 fucking times. That would just be stupid. Yeah, so there's Balazar transforming himself into a snake and summoning up the half-man, half-snake dude who's gonna kill your sister and rain down fire from his blimp made of wood, interestingly enough. And, oh yeah, you give me nothing? Blah. That was pretty funny. And then, of course, he kills him a bunch of different ways, and then at the end, he gives him the goofy way of ending the game, the paddle ball. And then we have a very vibrantly painted ending scene. So yeah, I would say the game was fun. I liked it. I had no game-breaking problems with it, other than of course the linearity and the save file problem. But I would recommend it. Alrighty, Skwatter out.